because they're not giving you the context. And I think as long as you provide context, you can offer opinion-based programming that can be professional and can be honest. And look, I started this case believing that Michael Jackson would not be convicted. I said it on my program. I thought that this was a family with too many problems, that a jury just couldn't believe beyond a reasonable doubt the testimony of this family. That's how I came into the case. Told my viewers that. I said, look, here's what I'm seeing so far, but let's see what we get as the case proceeds. And again, I think that Tom deserves a lot of credit for what he was able to do with the evidence. But with that said, I think that a lot of the evidence worked against Tom. And what I thought by the end of the case was that the jurors wouldn't look just at the evidence in this case. I thought that they would say the evidence that Michael Jackson had molested another boy or other boys was compelling enough that we can't let him walk out the door. That wouldn't have been the proper way to look at it. Wouldn't have been applying the instructions that the judge gave them. But I, like Tom, also believe that you can't always assume that jurors are going to abide by each and every one of these technical instructions that they get in how to look at a case. And so by the end of the case, and I'm not going to get as detailed into it as Tom did about the various pieces of evidence, et cetera, but I'll just tell you, by the end of the case, and I'll read you, because I brought a couple of these statements that I made about the case. At the end of the case, Tom's right. I got it wrong. I said that I'm starting to question whether Michael Jackson will be able to leave this courthouse a free man. Before the case started, I predicted he would likely be acquitted or there would be a hung jury. But now the evidence is in. I've listened to the closing arguments. I have to say I'm leading towards just the opposite outcome, a hung jury or a conviction on at least one of the more serious charges against him. Why? Because the prosecution had made out a pretty compelling case that Michael Jackson molested another child, one of the other children. And I said, regardless of the specific law, if these jurors are convinced he's a child molester, I think they'll figure out a way to convict him. The defense's closing just glossed over the allegations from other boys, merely saying that Jackson may have been naive or immature, that he may have had problems with his personal life, that they didn't specifically address those allegations. I said that that could be trouble, that Jackson says his bedroom at Neverland was just an innocent place for the kids to enjoy milk and cookies, a bedtime story. But the defense never explained why this innocent childlike man had all these porn magazines with books and naked